Good evening.
Hello.
Hey, Benny.
How you doing?
Ready for bed?
Ready for bed?
Hi.
Okay, go sleep now. Go sleep, Jeff. You won't miss anything. We're not discussing anything big
Pete.
today.
Yeah, right.
Nothing's happening at all. Nothing.
Nothing.
Benny, you're not perhaps in an avatar standing in the vault right now talking to us, are you?
Actually, we've had a crack at that, and we are actually, as stated, going to give you a spoiler of us actually being in there talking to each other as avatars, which is pretty cool. So we're working on that now. So yeah, there's lots of progressions with that. I think So yeah, lots happening. Every time that we're a bit quiet means there's lots going on. It's just been absolute mayhem since the sale. So looking forward to talking to you about who's coming in, which is really good, into the space, and lots of exciting stuff happening. Free to play. Yeah. So hit me with any questions that you've got over the last few days or week or anything like that, and I'll start that way, and then I'll give you some updates. Miss you Friday. Oh, okay. Who is coming into play? I'm not allowed to say George 74, but I can say that we've got 4 groups coming in that are very big groups. And I just want to get that out of the way. Some of the who got the shops? Yeah, good question. So some of the community bought shops. Some of people from outside of the community bought shops. And people were asking. Some people have asked me to help them find tenants or who wants to work with some of the stores. So all I can say is that there's a few blockchains that are working, a few big blockchain companies. So if you do own or you're in a pool, because I know a couple of you are in a pool, 4 shops, they're not going to be hard to rent. That's for sure and certain. Let's get it out of the way. How are we feeling about the crypto price market? Yeah, actually, Dogma, a few months back, we had a terrible pullback in the market, and people were coming in here and asking, what do we feel? What do we think? Especially people that are going through market cycles for the first time. I'll keep referring people back to Plan B if you haven't ever heard of him. Have a look at the Twitter. I think it's called, what's it called? Billionaire USD or something is his hashtag. Some of you'll know him. He's estimated since for a long time that we would have hit 47 last month, 43 this month, and then by the time we get to December, 135 for Bitcoin, 1,000. So a run up never fails. Always someone asking about price action. Yeah, well, that's well, Diaper. It's it's pretty important. A lot of people want to know, and no one knows what's going to happen for sure and certain. But if you look at, I'd say look at Plan B. He's been pretty close so far. Do you know what the percentage of owners are outside our community that own shops? No, I don't. That's it. That's Plan B. Thanks, Josh. I know of about 9 or 10 owners, roughly. And as I say, 3 of them are related to other blockchain projects. So that's good. Miss Universe, I'll come to that in 1 second, Crypto Matrix. So 3 projects and then a 4th project to announce as well. So lots of people building, and that's bringing interest because those people have been quite vocal in their little circles or cliques on the fact that they're looking. So that's starting to bring in more interest to us now, which is very, very encouraging. Okay, so is Miss Universe Philippines still on track, or will it be postponed again due to the pandemic? So what we've said is we're going ahead, Crypto Matrix. We're not going back. We are reliant on them, or have been, and I think I can just say it, Pete, can't I? It's been a bit of a nightmare,
Go
to be
for
honest.
it.
Yeah, it's
Go
been a
for
bit
it.
of a nightmare. We haven't been able to get photos from them, some of the photos to complete some of the sets, because they can't get into the rooms. They've had can't get into the same places. They've had terrible luck with COVID in the Philippines. And for those of you who live in the Southeast Asian region, you'll know it's no laughing matter. It's a bit of a joke at the moment as far as like the way it's being dealt with, and there's not enough vaccines, and they've had a few sick contestants and lots of stuff happening. So we've managed to get together enough of the collections, and then the last one that we needed, they had to take photos in a makeshift environment. So our guys worked like around the clock to try and sort of clean them up a little bit for the last set, but we've just said we're going. I think in all likelihood, they could push back again the final date by a few days or something like that, but they've got sponsors to deliver to and all the rest of it. So they've announced the 30th. We've announced this Friday. We're not changing. But as far as their final date's concerned, that's beyond us. It could be pushed back a few days. It might go ahead on the 30th, as they've said, but we're not sure. But for those of you who haven't seen, we've been really fortunate enough to get a Miss RFOX competition going, which will drive a lot of traffic to us. And we've got all of the contestants to wear RFOX gear, and there's a voting system. Has that been released yet, Pete?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So very shortly, there'll be a voting mechanism. So that will bring a lot of people in to vote for who they want to be Miss RFOX. And then that will drive a lot of traffic into the media platforms, and Miss Universe are going to actually push that out through their circulations as well, which is really great considering, they're running their own pageant and they're trying to push something for us as well, which is great. So it's been a bit of give and take. We've had to do a lot of pivoting, but ultimately we're fully understanding that the situation is not ideal, and we've been trying to work around it. Crypto J, I'm not sure what that link is, but if that is probably pretty good. So RFOX Finance, that's coming, Hanford. We're about to announce that for the release of the staking pools and farms. You know that it's also going over to the ETH side. I think some of you clever cookies have worked out what that actually means and where we're going with that. So I'll be happy to answer questions on that. Just to fix a camera in the corner of the room, eh? No, it's not like that, OMC. The problem was that people couldn't get to the venues to they have like their dresses and like national costumes and stuff, and they can't get to the venues where the dresses are to take the photos. It's a bit of a problem. So Crypto Matrix, they're wearing the RFOX merch. They are, and you probably, I don't know if you've seen it. Some people haven't. But
should we drop a spoiler then?
Yeah, we can. Is that your kids or Urban Gecko? It's your kids, is it?
No, not mine. It's Pete.
Yeah, Plan B stock to flow model. Oh, you've seen it before, Crypto J. Yeah, this dude's pretty good. So Pete's going to drop a spoiler. How did the hiring go this week? Any amazing new additions? Mate, it's getting hard to keep up with, to be honest. We actually had a meeting yesterday in relation to that, and I think Wade's probably here, is he? No. I think we've got, as it currently stands at the moment, mate, we've got 19 open positions. 19 open positions. So there's a lot of hiring going on. GM for finance. Dogma, that one we've taken a long time with, based on the fact that Pete and team have done such a good job with the farm setup and structure and contracts that we can. I'll let you spoil that. I'll let you talk about that, Pete, in case I fluff it up. But basically, you've done something pretty good, haven't you, with the addition of, with the ability to add stuff.
Yes.
But
we're not ready to reveal that yet.
Okay, sorry.
It's going to be like freaking awesome.
That's why Pete's here, is to keep me on my toes. Hello, there you go. Princess Krista. So what you need is one of those babies in your wallet, and if that particular contestant wins on the night, what happens?
Yeah, win an ETH.
A whole ETH, which is pretty bloody amazing for a $50 bloody NFT, if you ask me. So Dogma, I hope I answered your question right. Getting close and interviewing people, getting more stronger interview candidates for the media role as well to handle media. Media is difficult because media has marketing and advertising components separated. So we've got the Coal platform, Create to Earn, and all the rest of it on one side, and then we've got our internal marketing for the entire business on the other part, the other arm of it. So the media person's a very specific skill set that's going to be difficult for us to find, because technically speaking, what we need is someone to help me share the load from the PR perspective as we grow, and we're about to grow very fast. So we need we're looking for the media person we're looking for is has to be very charismatic, has to be able to carry themselves very well, because that person's going to be doing a lot of front facing for a lot of the explosive growth we have in Southeast Asia. What rarity is this? What do you reckon, Phantom? I think that the important part about that is, let's put it this way, Phantom. You would assume that in a contest like Miss Universe that you'd probably have the bikinis or something being mythic, right? But I think we've done pretty well to make it that the RFOX is the mythic, and in the background is the RFOX symbol. I think we've done very, very well to be able to get all of that stuff put in, I reckon. Have you received a message from Mr. Novogratz following the vault sale? Haven't checked yet, mate. We've had tons. We've been mainly entertaining. We've realised that now people are asking the questions we would have hoped were being asked before the first quarter sale in relation to institutional investors for buying shops for an investment purpose and then prospectively either renting them or running them. So we're now getting the questions we would have liked to have gotten from the groups of people that we would have liked to have attracted in that particular instance prior to the first quarter. So that's why we gave ourselves a bit of distance between the first and second quarter so we can really ramp that up. And hand on heart, yes, some of you guys, really loyal supporters and stuff, thought I'm going to jump in and I'm going to buy a shop and I think it's a great investment opportunity and stuff. And then sort of, I think a few of you have turned around and said, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't know how to run it. But like I'm saying to you, don't worry. We, the amount of people that we're talking to, you're not going to have any issues with renting those at all. When can we expect an announcement for the land sale? Who bought the shop? Yeah, so Donnie would normally go out like on Monday or Tuesday and say, we raised X, Y, Z, and this is what we've done. And what we've done deliberately is waited because we're trying to get the people that are going to be representing in there to sort of come forward and say who they are as well. And I think once we flush a couple out, they'll probably all come out. But as I said, there's three blockchain projects and then another fourth one that we're going to. That's a different part. So the fourth one we'll announce. You'll understand what I mean. Yes, I'm Marquis Donnie as well. We'll be seeing Vivi in the vault. Haven't spoken to them, being honest. Haven't spoken to them, but we did have meetings today talking about the interoperability angles on how it's a great situation that we're in. How far do you play it? So just to say this without actually spoiling anything I'll get muted, so I'm just going to blurt out a sentence as fast as I can. We're still deciding how much to integrate one of the other metaverses who wants to build into ours or ours. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
All right. It's probably too much. All right. So, will the checkered background be removed?
No, there won't be any checkered background. It's a screenshot.
Oh, that wouldn't be much of a mythic if it had a checkered background like that, would it, mate?
No. All the cards are not rectangle. They're cut off at the corner. But because I did a screenshot,
it just reminded me of those PNG files that you download and then you downloaded it and it's still got the checkered background. You're like, oh, it's not really a PNG file.
Yeah, like a watermark thing from the internet. This person's downloaded this from the internet. I mean, the fact is, if you can download beautiful women wearing RFOX from the internet, then we're not in a bad place, are we? Hanford, how many inputs, RFOX and VFOX, or just RFOX and outputs, RFOX, VFOX, etc., planned for the staking pools? I'll let them announce that. I believe that's being announced. What the hell date is it today? Pete, do you know what date? I don't even know what date it is today.
No. Today is the 22nd, but I think they're announcing either this weekend, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
We
So-
were still hoping on the code, the UI and all that. We're doing an overhaul on the UI.
Yeah. I'm hearing rumors that Princess Cog is involved somehow in Miss You. Apparently so, madam. Apparently so. Actually, yeah, I've already said too much. I'm going to get in trouble. But I keep getting asked when apes. So we'll talk about the apes very shortly as well. So we've got effectively what we owe you, and you're asking, like, when's the announcement? And, you know, to be honest, I haven't really been so concerned because a couple of these things have been coming together for a while as far as putting the PR or the announcement together. And with the market in the current state that it's at, you know, normally I'd be all over these people every single second of the day saying, hurry up. But I'm kind of saying, get it right and get the timing right. So I haven't been as harsh as I could be, but we owe you effectively 4 blockchains coming in and a project that's pretty cool. And we've got a couple of projects to announce on the NFT platform that we've got the Whitelabel as well. And just for those of you who don't know, we did put out an announcement that we'll be doing grants, and we've had I think we've only had 1 or 2 official applications, but I've spoken to maybe some of you in here as well, 6 or 7 people who had further questions, who are putting together applications. I haven't checked in 2 days to see how many more have come through, so I don't know. But I will let you know, and just don't forget that you can submit. And again, the question that I've had from 5 or 6 people is, what type of NFTs do they have to be? Meaning, is it avatars? Is it generative? It doesn't matter. What we're looking for is strong projects to represent the NFT platform. The other question I had asked in DM, it says, please make sure that you address this tonight. I will not be able to attend the call as it's too late for me. Ha ha. Okay. The question in relation to making sure that we've got quartermasters on board. Yes, we're going through that. So we've got tons of applications that we're working through this week in relation to that. But there was something else that triggered my mind. What was that? Oh, here we go. Is Calanova quarter will start working in December? When do you see Vault totally open, all quarters? Yeah, so December for Calanova, and that depends on what type of functionality we want to add and how smooth that is. But we're looking at the next quarter, so the first quarter of 2022. Pete, will Miss Philippines have mint numbers?
Oh, no, it's on ETH. But yeah, we're gonna put a surprise in for you.
Oh, DGen, who was the closest to the average shop price to win the RFOX 2020?
Contest isn't over on that one. That was going to be a combined for all 4 quarters.
Any way to guarantee what happened with OpenSea will happen to RFOX Marketplace? Well, XP in the beginning, we're actually tapping into the liquidity of other pools. So we're using the liquidity of other pools. So at least for the interim, that's not even a consideration or an issue. Hi, Benny. I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but a lot of the content that comes from RFOX Labs has Benny's picture on it and Benny in it. Would it be a suggestion that RFOX shows that the team is much more than Benny? Can Lenny not interview Fads, Pete, other team members in charge of certain aspects, maybe Brian Koo or the new finance guy? to an outsider, you would see multifaceted RFOX rather than one face. Just a suggestion, and it's not that I don't like you, think your interviews are great, because I don't take that in a negative way at all. In actual fact, I'm probably the one who would like to see that the most. That's why I was just talking about making sure that media has a very strong, a charismatic person running it who can start doing a lot of the PR as well. Lay, the CFO, has actually raised his hand and said he'd be happy to do an interview. And so I don't want to force people at gunpoint because they don't have to. But
just for full transparency, Benny did ask me multiple times to go and interview with Lenny, but I said no.
Yep. And that's the thing, Jeepers. The thing is that in the beginning, people didn't want to. They want to just work and focus. And so I've put my hand up. But, now that we've got people like these Miss Philippines Universe contestants and all the rest of it, and we're starting to get people working with us and making videos and doing this type of stuff, I would love to show the multifaceted talent that we have, but it is up to them on whether they want to come forward and interview. I think most of them will probably do an interview for sure and certain. Whether they do regular spots, I don't know. Yeah, I'm the same, Pete. No one wants to see I got a face made for radio. OMC, really hard to replace the Benny though. Look, I do it because I have to, mate. But once we get more seasoned people that know, as far as seasoned in the sense that they know the whole vision and the plan and can explain it to a competent level, I cannot wait to take a back seat with that. Jeepers, so the summary for those, if you did miss it, was that some of the people are happy to do interviews, some are not, but whether they do regular spots, that's a different story. That's why for media, we're trying to hire someone who's very charismatic, who can do a lot of the PR stuff and help me out. I'm spending a lot more time with investors and outside parties on the partnership side, and more. I'll still do a fair bit of the PR stuff, but we've hired some really good content people and some really good writers who are doing some amazing work. And I think only one or two of you have noticed, but the last couple of I think the last Building Roads, the last Vault blog or whatever, we've actually got our writers writing that for me now. And I think only one or two of you have actually noticed the writing style being a little bit different. So I think they're doing a phenomenal job. So am I going to spoil something for you? You want to see something? I'm going to risk it all. All right. Phantom saying 2021 clog. I've told you that this exists, and we have. I'm not telling you anything more than showing you, right?
Oh, okay. This one's going to be big, but
you ready for people to go?
All right. I think I know where this is heading.
Quiet, Pete. Keep quiet.
That's real.
22 karat gold Bitcoin cogs.
Damn.
Oh, that's the slammer I won in the Twitter giveaway.
They have a certificate value of $11,800. So I think that you can safely say that that's going to be a pretty sought after prize, isn't it? 22 karat gold.
Yeah, that's gonna happen, Benny. I gotta get that. Gotta buy that.
Benny, I thought you wanted to show the other one, but this one's fine.
People.
Other one is going to blow people's minds.
If this isn't a spoiler,
but no, it's okay. I think don't show the other one. That one we can keep for another day.
People said to me, "How are you going to beat RFOX 2020?" And I said, "We're never going to try and beat RFOX 2020, but what we're going to do is make something that makes people say, holy crap." So we're still there'll only be like 5 or so that ever get circulated into the public. So we'll work out what to do as far as giving those away, but we don't ever that we might do one for auction or something for a charity or whatever, but we always give those things away to people. So I think it's a good draw card. Concog. It's amazing, isn't it? I love it. I think they're beautiful.
Any chance of doing real silver versions in the future for other types of giveaways, promos, or whatnot?
Yeah, we've got like yeah, I won't show the other one then, huh, Pete?
No. To me personally, just to me, I think the other one is better. But this
Okay.
is pretty good as well. I think maybe for the community, this one might be more. With our community, this one probably
What about
resonates better. But
Can I throw a guess out there?
personally, to me, the other one, I think it's like.
what about Princess? What about Princess? Does the Princess think the gold Bitcoin or the other one's better? Show
I
it.
was hearing rumours that there was a Princess Gold cog coming out.
No, we can't show it. But I think that one's the best. I think what you've just seen is phenomenal. As soon as I saw it, I said. As soon as I actually saw something else similar to it, I said, "Hey, can you make those into a Bitcoin cog? Have a look at the detail on it as well." And they've got a video showing how the casting's all done and how it's all put together, and I think they just look phenomenal. I don't know what you do. Wear them around your neck, bling bling. What is the border on those gold cogs? I don't know to ask. Actually, I gave them the
Jewel Earth.
I did. I gave them Jeweled Earth to base it on, but yeah, that's the only border in my mind. Okay, sorry, my question again. Do you think streaming app will start working with Calanova's launch later? So George 74, the TV and streaming was already in testing, I think a couple of weeks ago, but now we're just sort of going through setup and rollout. So as far as Calanova is concerned, we'll have full functionality for the TV and streaming. Whether or not we release it as the standalone or whether it's part of the Metaverse is another question. Actually, that's the other question that I got asked. Now that we're showing more of the world, what is the most exciting venture to people outside of our ecosystem? Sometimes it is easy for us to see things in a bubble. What do outside people have to say? That's a good question. Yes, George 74. Why did you delete it? He's gone, oh, I think it's the NFT platform, but I better not write it there. So how many of the behind the scenes clients you were talking to buy a shop did the how many behind the scenes clients? Well, actually 4 or 5 that were looking at buying, but people that are going to be running shops from other projects were not people that we were talking to. So one of the people that we were talking to all along has. As far as did the others, we don't know yet. We have to circle back and see whether they bought. But there's still, like I say, we know of about 9 or so that of 9 different people that have bought. No, you weren't wrong, George. So that's really, really a very good guess. I think that because of the fact that the external parties believe that gaming and NFTs haven't really started yet. Now, you might say that's just stupid. We're in an NFT bubble and there's Axie, and they honestly believe, and I've talked to 4 or 5 this week already, they believe that this thing hasn't started yet. And it's not until games like Illuvium, weirdly, no one mentioned Star Atlas, which is kind of odd, but they all think that Illuvium will be the first proper AAA game. Which, yeah, no one talking about Star Atlas, which is very odd.
Illuvium is insane. It really is insane. It's beautiful.
Well, my personal opinion, I don't know enough to comment on Star Atlas. I don't know much about it, but I think the I think the reason people are talking about Illuvium is Illuvium have showed a little bit of, to some people, I think, of a basic gameplay or something like that, whereas Star Atlas, it's too early to tell. We've just got pictures, right? So, like Arc
Let's
Lego,
hope it's not Star Citizen.
Yeah,
It's not like Star Citizen.
yeah, and Arc Lego always said, you know, if you ever judge a game by a trailer, you're in big trouble because they almost never look as good. So yeah, most games in development are a year away. Actually, even Illuvium's pushed back the behind the scenes stuff. Most of the people that I'm speaking to from that, like the gaming investors, say that we're not really probably going to see a AAA game on blockchain or in blockchain fully functional until 2023. So that's how far away we are from the real rush coming. So they think that, you know, people like us that could produce multiple games, especially if the NFTs can move across the games, that's the big. It's still the big thing for now. You've seen this tremendous success that Immutable X have had over the last couple of weeks with their raise and announce, but obviously that's 6 months of behind the scene work, and we're only seeing it publicly now. But those guys are being promoted as a big draw card as well. So yeah, going back to the question, so George74, what everybody's interested in what we're doing, because a lot of people don't understand the NFT platform. Let's see how you guys understand it. Yeah, Ramses, I think you're dead right. Both will take a lot longer. You think about it, Ramses. You know, you've seen behind the scenes with us as well. Even a game like Cogs, which is very simplistic compared to what's being built out there. I don't think people understand how freaking hard it is to build blockchain-based games that actually can scale, that work properly. I don't think people have any understanding how difficult it is. So to build a AAA style game, you know, a good AAA game can take 3 years to build. So good luck building that on blockchain in 3 months. Good luck. Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter either, Ramses, as long as people are forward with that. Ramses, 100%. You know, we know the guys from Axie. You know the guys from Axie. Those guys worked their asses off for a long time with a relatively decent-sized developer team for a game, especially a blockchain game. And it's not hard to find. It's not easy to find that many developers that can sit in the room that understand blockchain and understand gaming. And you know, and they're in Vietnam, which has one of the highest developer pools in the world, and that had to get pushed back a year. And that they were saying just a year ago that we're years away from seeing proper blockchain scalable games come out. And I just don't think people understand how hard this is. No understanding whatsoever. And once you've built something, I'm not saying Axie, but once you've built something like an Axie and released it on blockchain, making changes to it is much, much more difficult than a regular game. So yeah, people just don't really get that. So no one's going to have a guess at what the platform is? No? I'll just say it then.
Ask the question again. I'll take a stab at it.
Okay, you take a stab at it. What is the NFT platform that we're releasing? So what is its proposition? What does it do? Because I'll tell you, yep, go for it. Have a guess.
Well, I would, from what I've seen, it's essentially a way for people to, it's like a user interface for people to use whichever blockchain they want. So it's one place where you can go and you don't know what's going on in the background. You're interacting with various blockchains, but at the end of the day, you're getting your NFT. You don't care how you're getting it. You're getting it. It could be on Poly, it could be on Wax, could be on ETH, but they're all running through your platform, and your platform's creating one unified point of contact for every user. So no matter how smart or dumb you are, it's an easy experience.
I'll give you my non-technical, and then Pete, you can tell me how I've butchered it from a technical perspective. But talking to the external people, you say that we've got an NFT platform coming out. They say, oh, yeah, like Rarible. No. Oh, like OpenSea. No. No, not a marketplace. So it allows you to spin up a contract, gives you the template, the base for the site that you can configure. You can then place the NFTs that you've created on whichever chain you've chosen on that site and have a marketplace. In the beginning, the marketplace will tap into the liquidity pools of whichever chain you've built on. So if you've built on Ethereum, it taps into OpenSea, for example. Now, the external parties now are saying, so you can choose multiple chains. So I can choose between Ethereum, Wax, or other chains. Yes. So it's a box. Yes. That other chains plug into. Yes. That's the part that they're saying nothing like that actually really exists. So if you can get that one right, you're away. So that's what people are pretty excited about. And Pete, you can tell technically, you can explain that better, but we're months away from the aggregation parts being finished for MVP, but we've already got four projects that are going to be building on the platform. Pete, do you want to add anything from a technical perspective?
No, you nailed it in the head. I think we've had a lot of conversations between you and me,
Yeah.
and I got it down.
Yeah.
And everything's there's running through RFOX. Is that right? That's the token. That's the major token.
Well, for everything to be running through RFOX for the NFT platform as a standalone, so in the Metaverse, that's the aim in the Metaverse as a standalone platform. For example, if someone chose Solana and built on Solana, and then we wanted them to take RFOX as a form of payment, it doesn't necessarily mean that they could take RFOX Solana because we'd have to have bridged or have a bridge over there or a version of RFOX on the Solana chain. But they could take RFOX as a form of payment if we've got the payment integration part done. So, for example, the first few projects that we've spoken to have no issue in taking RFOX as a form of payment and are happy to do that. So, yeah, that's really good for us. But if you build, let's just say that Ramses comes along and says, I've got a new great idea for a project, and she launches on the NFT platform that we have and accepts RFOX as a form of payment, it's an Ethereum-based NFT collection, right? So it doesn't stop anybody from being able to sell that NFT on OpenSea for Ethereum. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but just to add, the pure RFOX payment coursing through everything is kind of like a phase 2, which my team started discussing today.
Will the NFT platform have a shop gallery in the Metaverse? Well, better still, Rasha, all of the shops in the Metaverse will have the NFT platform. Do people understand what that means? Yeah, so Josh, so exactly.
Yes, Josh, exactly.
Oh, Josh, I've told you this like 600,000 times, man.
Yeah, so Josh, you'll get a shop and then you'll go, right, okay, what am I going to put in my shop? And it doesn't matter whether you're bringing in NFTs from your collection or whatever, you'll get a version of the platform and you'll go bang and you'll spin up either brand new NFTs or you will place the NFTs that you have on display, and that's all coursing through the NFT platform. Now, that's the part where these outside parties' ears are pinning back and pricking up now because they're saying, hang on a second, so your shop faces an NFT platform in the Metaverse is the one that you've built? Yes. And that's where we're starting to get. And the great part about that is that NFT platform, so again, if Ramses says, I want to do a collection tomorrow, can spin up, have a site and bring out a collection and have nothing to do with the Metaverse. So it's a standalone product as well. And that's
And the thing is, a lot of people don't see all the connections between that. They'll say, "Oh, you're building a vault, you're building an NFT platform, you're building RFOX Finance." It's all, they don't see the whole picture, right? But that's why we had to launch all of this at the same time.
Yeah, it forms a SuperDAP, and I think that that's what that's why we've decided to build everything at the same time and take a little bit longer to make sure that it gets rolled out, because it's 10 times quicker once we've rolled the whole thing out. So yes, that is the plan. It is still the plan. The team that are building and doing all the aggregation layer work for us are a very well-known development team with, what have they got? Hundreds of developers, Pete. I think 600 or something. Huge amount of developers, big company helping us with that. When can we get access to the dev tools for the interior of the shop? So, Princess, you might be able to give an updated.
Yeah, it's about November. We should have a shop owners portal where you'll be able to get in and play around with the templates and set up exhibitions and stuff like that. Trading probably won't be active then until the MVP in December for Calanova.
And custom modifying of those templates, same time.
No, you'll have a choice of templates and everything will basically be fixed in place, but you won't be able to do stuff like move the display camera over 2 meters and play around with where the positioning of the lighting is. That's all far too complex.
Will it ever be able to do that?
Anything is possible when we talk about will it ever be able to do it. There's about 800 user stories at the moment that we've got to sort of prioritize as we build through.
Yeah, that's the when you're doing user stories, like I'll be the first to put my hand up and say these things suck. But they're very, very helpful, because we have to be able to say, hi, I'm a middle-aged man who wants to buy an NFT motorbike, and I want to be able to ride the motorbike upside down in the vault, only when it's windy. And you've got to write that up as a story and say, right, okay, there's a motorbike that's an NFT that rides upside down in the wind. How do we implement that? How does that get?
Yeah, Pete just takes that and deletes it off the list.
Yeah. So the thing is that if you have a look at the lighting and the way things are done, like they've put huge amounts of time and effort into all of that. But this is what we've been talking about today, Urban Gecko. It's a very good question. You want the world to be interoperable, right? Because the metaverse connects to other worlds. But we've talked about this many times. Jesus, I nearly said their name. A company comes along and says, I want to integrate with you guys. As I've said to you before, if we've got licensing right to Marvel, and they've got licensing right to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Marvel characters and the Turtles might not be able to go across universes. So interoperability is based on rights as well, not just technical aspects. So, but the idea of it is to make it so that creators can come in and create and earn. That's the whole idea. So we're moving as fast as we possibly can to make sure that we've got the MVPs open, and then we can run with the development side of things. Agile framework, yeah. We're doing sprints and scrum sessions and all of the fun stuff, Kimmy.
I had another question before we leave the NFT thing.
Yep.
The whole concept of, obviously your shop is an NFT platform and you're selling on ETH, or the NFT platform that you use for your shop. Do you have the ability, I'm thinking now for what Josh is wanting to do with community members.
Yeah.
What if some of the people are on the ETH, some are people on Solana, some of the people, can you have a mix?
Yeah, so the whole idea of the aggregation layers and the tools to bring those all together is that effectively, as Wade just said, then anything is possible. The whole idea of it is to say, what do we integrate next? And this is why the team's spending so much money, time, effort, and development cost on doing this, because if we've got a white label for Ethereum now, and we've got a white label for Wax right now, why don't we just say, no, you can only bring Wax in and you can only bring Ethereum in? The whole idea of having an interoperable metaverse is to be able to say it shouldn't matter what platform you're on. Now, that's within reason, because we're always going to have someone come along and say, platform, why don't you have integration for that? The whole idea of the NFT platform is to say that it's a box with hooks. And what we want to do is be able to make it so that if a new chain does come along, or Kasama's completely different to Polkadot and they want to integrate, we'd say, here's the developer tools and the docs and all the rest of it, and they would be able to hook in or plug in, and then that would allow for that particular chain to integrate. So, for example, we talked to Tezos, and people were saying how we're doing NFTs and stuff, how would we integrate? And it's like, you know, a lot of these chains that are trying to do NFTs or trying to do development or build out are still in their very infant stages. So what we've said is we want to make sure that we've got a box with the hooks, so to speak, and we don't want to be spending 10 years trying to work out how to integrate Tezos, for example. We want Tezos to be able to come along and say, got it, understand the developer docs, we'll integrate. So we'll build the hooks and the roads to your platform. How will buyers in the vault know the native chain that a particular NFT sits on? So that's a great question, DGen. What we want to do is get it to the point where, and that's the whole point of having an aggregation layer and making sure that that we have a platform that can carry different chains, is if we're going to reach mass adoption and we're going to reach what we want to do, it shouldn't matter, right? You should be able to display whatever you've bought. And that's why we are doing the RFOX ID. And again, if I say this technically wrong, Pete, please correct me. But the RFOX ID now currently will issue you Wax and Ethereum. And as we integrate more, you will get more auto setups when you get your RFOX ID, meaning that the long-term goal is to be able to display everything that is integrated. So shouldn't matter. And DGen, the best thing about what you're asking is, if I'm new to crypto, I shouldn't even know that I shouldn't even think about it being new to crypto. I should walk into the virtual space, the metaverse, buy those wearable shoes I like, buy an Bored Ape NFT and all the rest of it, and then not have to say, hang on, which wallet's that in? I've got 44 wallets. I should be able to just say, bang, here's my RFOX ID, bang, there it is. It's all in one place. That's obviously going to take a long time to do, but you're not going to get to mass adoption unless we get around this. It's ridiculous. I don't know if you saw it the other day. We had, what channel was it? Someone was freaking out because they couldn't find something. And it was a considerable amount of, I think it was a group of NFTs, and they couldn't find it. And it was a considerable amount of money, and they were freaking out. And at first they thought it was something to do with us. And then they realized they had NFTs on a completely different chain in a completely different wallet. And I was saying that's the problem with blockchain at this particular point in time. How many of you have gone into another wallet and gone, oh crap, I forgot I had that NFT or whatever? That happens all the time. What will RFOX TV look 24/7 streaming? Yeah, so the TV will be a mixture of recorded content. So if you're familiar with My Media, who's actually rebranding today to RFOX Media, that happened really quickly and quicker than we thought, because Facebook don't like you to change the name of your business, especially when you've got tens of millions of followers. So they actually worked with us very well, and they said, okay, we're permitting the change to RFOX Media. But with Facebook, it's kind of like, oh, by the way, it's done. Can't give you a time, can't give you when it's going to be done. And then it's like, bang, done. Now you've got like 5 hours to tell people, otherwise they're going to start thinking it's a scam site or something. So get out there. So we've gone out with the first publication just to say we've rebranded. So if you start having a look at Facebook and look at RFOX Media, please let me know what you see from your country. That's good feedback for us. But Facebook moved at lightning speed actually and got us upgraded and changed. So Phantom, if you've looked at my media, they have a combination of recorded videos like on beauty, fashion, food, tech, all the rest of it. And the new RFOX Media direction will allow people to be able to upload and share content. And I've mentioned this before, so it's not spoiling anything. What they want to do is move towards, and I use a horrible example every time, and people say, why don't you choose something better? But this is the one that sticks with me. Let's just say that I have my camera, my mobile, and I filmed something like 9/11 or whatever. I caught some incident that happened on my mobile and I upload it to the site. You can do cool stuff with NFTs like IP transfers. What we're saying is that if you could upload a video and then CNBC comes along and says, hey, I want that footage or that right, bang, there you go, mint and transfer, and someone has ownership rights to stuff instead of them going around to all the TV stations and saying, who wants to buy this and all the rest of it. That's an extreme example. But what I'm saying is content creators can now go in, upload content just like they would on YouTube, but also create NFTs and specific content for fans or hidden content or private content or limited content. When will Play to Eat be ready to roll out? Okay, so the game itself, RFOX Run, I think it's pretty much ready now. What we're waiting for is we're going to integrate RFOX ID into media, and that, Pete, correct me if I'm wrong, but that'll be in October in the first week, is it? Or first or second week?
For the what? The
RFOX ID for media?
Sometime in October. No, we're starting it for games first. For the whole play to earn thing. But yeah, my target is first week of October. I think media will come shortly after that. Yeah,
so they'll wait for the RFOX ID to be implemented before they kick that off. They can still do RFOX Run and do NFTs or something like that, but they'll wait for RFOX ID. And the reason they'll wait for RFOX ID is because they want to make sure that when people are coming across to the RFOX Media platform, they're registering, they're getting an ID, and they're inducted into the system. And that way, it doesn't matter if they use RFOX Games, RFOX Media, the Vault, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all the same ID, yeah. But the sprint just started today, so it should be fast.
So I got asked last week, and I forgot to answer it, and someone messaged me saying, is RFOX ID like a passport for your ecosystem? Yes. That's a very good analogy, actually. Yes, it's a passport for the ecosystem. What if we would like to display an asset on a specific chain? For instance, an NFT on Ethereum is generally considered to have more prestige than one on BSC. Yeah, you can display... what if we would like to display an asset is on a specific chain? For instance, an NFT on Ethereum is generally considered to have more prestige than one on BSC. Yep. That's a good question. That's true. They do have more prestige on Ethereum. I think that the reason that they have more prestige is due to the fact that the gas fees are higher. It's got a bigger audience, and it's really cheap to mint on some of these other chains, and you can do low cost transactions and you can create higher numbers. So that's the main difference. So RFOX ID be its own version of the MetaMask for RFOX ecosystem, kind of, but not like that. Do you want to explain that, Pete? Just so that.
I'll rather reveal it once the site's up.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. We can probably get a working site up pretty fast, and then let these guys, close alpha. Yeah, they want alpha, right? Yeah, hopefully by next Wednesday we'll get an alpha for you guys. You can try it out.
Yes. So RFOX, anyone on the horizon that will be using COGS as COGS? Yeah. So Hanford, going back to the previous thing, I will tell you that one of the companies that we're talking to also works in blockchain, is already trying to work out how to take COGS into another ecosystem. So that's already being looked at, mate.
You pop them in your Kogu and you fly there. That's how you get them there.
Oh, I'm going to mute you in a minute.
Shush.
Been a terrible day. Been a terrible day due to crypto shakeout. Actually, you know that we're the same. George 74. This is the thing. A lot of people have said this over the past. Have said it's good to come in here and have a chat and actually especially when the market's down, and to ask questions and to see how things are going. And the thing is, ask questions, and if you're worried about stuff or whatever, then that's what we're all here with. You should always talk to people. You should always be asking questions and all the rest of it. But the thing is that, look at these projects, and that's the hard part that people can't get their head around about crypto, is that, if Bitcoin pulls back 20% in a day, for example, and all the projects crash, are the projects actually any different to what they were before Bitcoin pulled back? No. But is your investment value the same or different? Yes. And this is what we've got at this particular point in time. Like, I would back us against the majority of companies as far as the way we conduct our meetings, the way we conduct ourselves, what we do, how hard the team works and all the rest of it, versus companies that might not do anything and might be absolutely flying because all they do is spend money on marketing and do no actual building, which is good for them. It's great. It's a different strategy. But as far as when the whole market moves down, it can be extremely stressful. And I think that people don't understand the perfect storm of COVID, lockdowns, losses of jobs, crazy fluctuations in markets, people paying $400,000 for a fucking rock. I don't understand what's wrong with the world sometimes. Doesn't make any sense. So it's always a safe place to come here. That's for sure and certain. And we cop it too, mate. When the market goes down and people are stressed out, who do you think cops that? It's we cop it as much as anyone. And a lot of people say, why doesn't more people than Benny get out there? I'm probably better built for handling some of that than some people, but the fact is we cop it as well, mate. We the market moves 5% down. People will say, what the hell are you guys doing? What's wrong? Nothing. We're doing exactly what we were doing when it was 5% up. Crypto J, yeah, I'll go in a minute, mate, because I know you guys want to do degen, but any time left to talk about the apes tonight? I'm meeting about the apes tomorrow, Crypto J, so we'll have an answer for you very shortly. But there will be apes. There will be apes. Crypto shakeout Melbourne earthquake protests. Yeah, who are the design team for the Vault? Group of very, very competent people that are producing some pretty cool stuff. We're working on that. Look at the fundamentals and long-term growth and appreciation, and not the short-term price, which is really just noise. Actually, I'll tell you something that I'm actually very proud of that I probably shouldn't mention here, or it's not really. We talk about this internally as a team, right? Because we don't focus on the price so much, and you might say, well, you should. But what I mean by that is we try to tell the team that the price is not reflective of what we're building or the long-term value of what we're building, and these things move sometimes without anybody's control. But there's a really good clip that Wade put in our channel for us to watch about Jeff Bezos. I will share it if it adds value. Pete, I don't know if you can grab it easier than I can to drop in here.
Yeah, grabbing it right now.
Thanks. Pete will drop it in here. But watch this stuff. and I know that a lot of you guys have been around a long time, so you know this stuff, but for new people, it'll probably make you feel a lot better. But Jeff Bezos actually talks about the fact that when the market goes down 30%, it doesn't mean your company's worse off. And when the market goes up 30%, don't pat yourself on the back because you're not a genius. So it's a very, very good thing to watch if you're not used to these types of things. All right. There you go. Watch that clip by Bezos. It's definitely worth your time. If you haven't ever seen it before, watch it. So the other people looking to bring cogs to a different chain, is that for gameplay and for their NFT marketplace, or just for use in the game? For use in the game, mate. We've always said COG stands for keys to other games, and now I think part of any deals that we're doing going forwards, people are looking for interoperability. And I think blockchain projects, this is why I'm so proud to be involved in this space. You know, there's so many criminals and crooks and shitty people, to be honest with you. It brings out the absolute worst in people when they can see quick money. But the fact is that there's some really great people building some really great stuff, like amazing stuff. And crypto projects, the real ones, are tapping each other on the shoulder and saying, hey, there'll come a time when we're fierce enemies and we're battling for supremacy and all the rest of it. But at this particular point in time, we're all working towards the same goal. And unless we work on interoperability and we work together, companies like Facebook and Google and stuff are going to come in and just go bang. But their closed systems, they don't want to. Interoperability is not part of their structure or design. And this is where we've got a massive advantage, and we can play on a much better stage if we work on interoperability, and that's what we focus on. So that's good, Josh. Okay, any final last questions? Because I've gone over for you guys. I know you want to. Oh, they said an announcement from RFOX Finance this weekend. Yep. Okay, cool. So, and Josh, I mean, there's so much more information that we'd like to give you, but our hands are kind of tied. But like I say, internally, we're very, very happy with the way things are going. There's still tons. We're getting to a point now where we've got more questions than answers, which is great. And I think that Pete will say, from a technical perspective, he's probably going to end up with a haircut like mine pretty soon. But every day we're coming in and saying, we need this. We have to be able to do this. We need to be able to plug into this. And I think he loves it. He's a sadist like me. That's one thing that's for sure, Josh. Doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's sunny, if it's hailing, we'll be here. We're building. We're not going anywhere. And this is a lot of effort, time, and a lot of people have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And people like Pete on this call, I'll pick on him because he's here. We've got a great group of people that bleed RFOX. It's their life, and we're gonna make this thing amazing. So have a fantastic night. My position is this, Benny. RedFOX Labs to be a Fortune 500 company. I've told you, Degen, I will consider, and I'll say it one last time, if we don't get to that stage, I will consider that everything that I've ever done in my working career, in my life, and all the sacrifices and all the time and effort that's been put in has been for nothing. And that might be a stupid goal, and you might say, that's a stupid goal, you should just play, but it's not. I think we can do it. I know we can do it, and we will do it. Okay. So,
and I'll add to that if I didn't believe in that, I wouldn't have quit my job and come over here. So, yeah.
And the thing is that we see it internally, and we hear it from the people that we talk to, and we wish we could turn a microphone on and just blast that out to you guys. But ultimately, we've got a lot of work to do. We're being groomed now for the next step up, and we're not ready for that step up. If we want to compete on the big stage with the big boys, we need far more people, far more process, far more infrastructure, and we're running to play catch up. But we know it's coming, and we've got our finger in the pie in a lot of the fastest growing sectors. So now it's a matter of capitalizing and getting the right people to run those. So have a fantastic week, guys. Don't worry about the market 1 week to the next. If you do, you'll die very young and unhappy. Find things that are building for long term. Take your foot off the pedal every now and then. Don't stare at a screen all day. My advice is read. Choose a subject.
You're asking
Read.
me to not stare at the screen the whole day?
No, what I'm saying is like trading screens. I'm saying read, learn, pick a subject. Lots of people are at home. They're locked down. They've got lots of time on their hands. Learn something. Read about stuff. If any of you want good books to read, I've got a whole swag, a list of them. Have a fantastic week, guys. Hope you all stay well, stay safe, be safe, and look forward to giving you updates. Hopefully we'll get the first couple of updates on who is likely to build out this week. So fingers crossed that I can get them to deliver their statements tomorrow. Have a good one,
Cheers,
guys.
Benny.
See ya.
Cheers, Benny.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.